right, welcome back to BS with Brian Simpson, episode 101. I'm back. Yeah, we had some technical difficulties. I was stuck at the Netflix festival for longer than I thought I would be, so that's why that week and then my car took a shit. So, shit happens. But I will never leave you again. I promise. Obviously the elephant in the room this week is Diddy. I mean, we talked about him before. These ain't new takes. Y'all already know how I feel. Like I said, a man on his fourth or fifth nickname is not to be trusted. It's just that simple. You can't nickname yourself 4 or 5 times without me thinking there's something off with you. That's a real egotistical thing to do. I mean, obviously the video came out, and we all know like the visuals gonna doom you. The visuals gonna doom you. We saw that happen with Ray Rice. We heard that he punched his wife in the elevator, and the video, and I think he was suspended for 3 or 4 games or something. And then the video came out and they suspended him for life. You know what I'm saying? Because, here's why that's the case. It's because if I tell you that somebody got punched in the face, you're free to imagine whatever sort of punch and whatever sort of face that you want. But with the visual, the horrors of it are, it's burned into your brain. It's no longer in your imagination. It's not foggy. It's visceral. And so I think people have a stronger reaction to videos, I mean, Instagram knows that's true. TikTok knows. I mean, that's the whole reason it exists. And now, and here it is. So many people for so long were scared to come at Diddy. Everybody except 50 Cent. 50 Cent was going to Diddy. I think Charlamagne the God went to Diddy a little bit when he had him on the Breakfast Club. But most people in the business, in the entertainment industry, were afraid to go at Diddy, even though a lot of them knew, heard the rumors. And I mean, because that's kind of how it is. It's like, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, you guilty by association. Like everybody that's ever took a picture with Diddy is guilty, or they all knew, or whatever. I think that's inflammatory shit that people, I think a lot of people like to latch on and speculate about whatever version of events is more interesting to them. I mean, you see people doing whole think pieces with no facts. They literally don't know anything, and they sitting there going, "This is what I think happens." You know what I mean? And but just sticking to the facts. The facts are a lot of people were scared to address Diddy, but now that it's out in the open, it's gonna be people coming out the woodwork. This is how it always happens. With when you get away with shit for a long time, eventually people start murmuring and whispering. Like those NDAs don't mean shit. You know what I mean? Like nothing stops people from telling secrets. If you want something to be a secret, take it to your grave. You know what I'm saying? If you want something to be a secret, don't tell anyone. If you tell someone, you told everyone. And most people are fucking terrible at keeping secrets. And it's just that simple. Most people, you tell them a secret, and what happens is they tell somebody that they trust and tell them not to tell nobody. And then that person tells somebody that they trust and tell them not to tell nobody. And eventually it gets around to the motor mouth that's gonna tell everybody. Now, I mean, by the time it goes around, I mean, people don't know if it's true, or sometimes you hit that echo and you make up some bullshit, and it spreads around to the point where somebody tells it back to you, and then you can act like it's something you heard. I heard, but this ain't that. This ain't that. I just mean, I don't think everybody that's ever been to a Diddy party is guilty by association, but certainly some of them are. All of them heard and some of them knew. Like if you heard it and then you saw something, even if you didn't actually see the abuse, you know what I'm saying? Like we all been, like have you ever been around a couple and you can just tell by the way they fight, like, oh, he beats her for sure. He punches her when we're not around, or she beats him. I've seen that more often than you would think, by the way. Where it's like, oh, damn, like this is, well, you know what's so funny? Usually, I think when all the men I've known that were married to physically abusive women, those women didn't hold back in public with the physical. Like eventually she would hit him in front of people. You know what I mean? And I think the abusive men usually are better at, or not better at, or just more often, they keep the abuse hidden because they know they're going to be more judged for it. I think a lot of abusive women, they know there's really no consequences. I mean, short of them being extremely violent, there's really not going to be no consequence for them being physically violent in public towards their significant other. So I've seen way more men get hit by their women publicly, even though I think I've known of way more men being abusive to their women, But like I said, you can tell when you're around one of those dudes because you can like if they're fighting verbally, you can hear by how the fight is verbally, you can hear the dynamic. You know what I mean? You can tell when you're dealing with a couple where one of them rules by fear, and those people are usually physically abusive. You know what I mean? I don't, very seldomly is that not the case. It was like, so, I don't know. Did he try to give a sorry ass apology? Here's my take on that. I'm sure if you're watching this, you've already seen it. It's old. It's a few days old. But here's what I'll say. I've seen Diddy in several movies. And there were a few roles where he played just a villainous piece of shit. And he killed those motherfuckers. Right? So when you see this apology video, he's clearly not sorry, but the acting is so terrible, right? And so my point is, when somebody kills an acting role, like Diddy did when he played in like the Carlito's Way prequel, shit like that, it's either because they're a phenomenal actor whose range is incredible, or it's because the character they're playing is so close to who they are in real life that it's nothing to them, right? So the fact that Diddy is such a terrible actor and it's apparent in that apology video, you know that he's much, much closer to that villain in Carlito's Way. I forget what the subtitle is. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, he's that guy. That's who he is for real. Just a maniacal narcissist, man. And honestly, I don't understand why this was tough. Because I forget who I heard say, I think Charlemagne said, like, he had mixed emotions, and he said all the proper things, but then he was like, on one hand, another one of our black heroes is down, but on the other hand, he's a piece of, this is when he was giving them Donkey of the Day. But my point is, I never looked at Puff Daddy as a hero. I don't know anyone that did. I was never like proud that, I remember the last time I was positively impressed with Puff was when he showed up to the awards show on the back of a flatbed. I was young, but I just thought, oh, that's a dope flex. But that was when none of us really knew that much about the way Puff moved, the way he operated in the industry. I want to say that was before the making of the band shit. That was the first sign, the public sign right there that he was fucking, kind of a tyrant. And then we started finding out how the contracts went with different artists and all this other stuff. So, whatever. And recently he's been walking around like it ain't shit, but I think this is his downfall. I think he's done for. And Drake is sitting over there like, whew, finally the heat is off me, because that's another thing. That Night Like Us, I want to say it hit 1 billion streams. Is that what I heard? Or was it 100 million? It was the fastest one to one of those. The fastest song ever. And I'm seeing that in the BBL Drizzy is remixes galore. They playing that shit at birthday parties. Like they playing that shit on sports games. People are really literally like two-stepping to a song about you being a creep and a pedophile. I don't know. I don't know how you come back from that. If anybody can, it's probably Drake. But I mean, wow. Anyway, let's get. Oh yeah, Netflix Festival. Netflix Festival was amazing. I know we kind of late behind it, but Netflix Festival was amazing. Me and the homies, we're out there. I barely saw them while I was out there though. But y'all know Tony Hinchcliffe shined. Shane Gillis premiered his new show. He's shining. The homie Derek Postal was shining. Andrew Schultz shining. I thought this Netflix festival was a lot better than the last one. So maybe this is a pattern. They're going to do it every other year. It was much bigger. I think they did twice as many shows, but it felt more organized. Obviously still room for improvement, even though nobody asked me. The first year, everybody asked me what I thought. Nobody asked me this. But we generally had a good time. I think I probably stayed too long. I think 7 days is a lot in one city. I don't know about y'all, but like I would be exhausted by any place. But LA is particularly exhausting when you don't live there. Just to visit for like a week is, because I feel like there's nothing. Obviously, you can have fun with no money, but I can do that at home. Oh, we're gonna go hike. We're gonna hike. I can hike at home. I have to do things that I can only do here while I'm here. And it's a lot going on. And I think a lot of it too has to do with the fact that like I don't normally do things during the day. I don't be scheduling morning shit. People love their morning, it's like, what's funny is how much everyone knows that we're comedians and they know the kind of lifestyle we live and they still be wanting to do shit at 10 a.m. You know what I mean? What we talking about? 10 a.m.? You know what I'm saying? Because to the average comedian, that's like 4 in the morning. You know what I mean? I just went to sleep at 3 or 4. You want to schedule something for 10, so I got to get up at 8 so I could. I do. I'm saying, whatever. ADHD stuff. Y'all, I don't feel like going into it. Let's get to the emails. I'm not sure if I got to this already, but we'll. Let me see. Tutoring potential. Okay. Publix carjacking. Dear Brian, on the latest episode, you mentioned an 85-year-old carjacking victim by a prostitute. As soon as you mentioned Lake Park, I realized I used to work at the liquor store next door. This was over a decade ago, but the Publix parking lot was sketched then, and I guess it hasn't improved over time. It is the only Publix I have ever been to that has a security officer at all times armed with a Ruger revolver. I once saw a circus elephant chained to a post eating a sprinkler system in the grass. Love the podcast and the new Netflix special. My mom really enjoyed it. Looking forward to seeing a live show soon. Sincerely, Dan. Well, thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. And listen, if you want to come see the live show soon, go to BrianSimpsonComedy.com or go to my socials, BS Comedian, and click on the link tree. The next place I'm gonna be is the Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club in Las Vegas, June 14th and 15th. I'm be at Comedy Works in Denver. Comedy Works in Denver. We sold that bitch out last time we was there. Comedy Works in Denver on July 11th, 12th, and 13th, and then the Comedy Castle in Royal Oak, Michigan, just a suburb of Detroit, on July 25th, 26th, and 27th. And then lastly, Hilarities in Cleveland on August 2nd and 3rd. So, go ahead and get them tickets now. They are actually selling fast. This is the Netflix effect. The tickets are selling faster than usual. So don't wait till the last minute. Get the motherfuckers because I can't tell you how many times I've seen people outside the motherfucking club, because I step out to smoke or whatever, and they giving me a sad story about how they couldn't get tickets and they tried. It's like, no, what you did was you waited to the last minute because you thought there was going to be tickets available. okay? And they weren't. And there's nothing I can do about that. If it's sold out, it's sold out. That means that there's no seats. I can't make a seat for you. You know what I mean? So it's like, so it's like no sad story you can tell me is going to help you. I would help if I could, but some things sell out, some things don't. I mean, roll the dice if you want. But Denver, last time we sold out in Denver while Taylor Swift was in town and Cirque du Soleil. So, I would get them joints now. By the way, this is new material. If you came and saw me last year, this is my new hour. This is not what's in the special. So, people always wonder that. Is it new? What do you be talking about? Well, come through. Come check it out. Whatever you need to do. What's the next email? Hey, Brian, I'm writing for the first time. First off, I really want to thank you for the laughs and you're smart and funny as hell. Stand up, killing it. Congrats on the special. Been listening to the pod since 2022, but I did miss a few this past fall 23 because of life shit. I get it. I get that life shit. Got back in the current episodes and Rob's gone. I'm going to get caught up on past episodes and see if you address it, but felt compelled to say that I miss your dynamic and banter a bit. You seem like you were friends too, so I'm sorry if something happened. I hope all is well. Thanks for getting me through some dark times. There were weeks when your pod was one of the few things I felt I had to look forward to. Oh, she's trying to make me cry. Peace and be well. WAP level. Diana. No, Rob and I are still very much friends. Nothing happened between Rob and I. Mean, like you said, life shit. It's just like shit be happening. You know what I'm saying? And Rob will be back for a future episode or two or permanently or whatever. But life shit happens to everybody. But no, I love Rob. We are friends. Hey, Brian. Kane here from South Carolina. I really appreciate your comedy and insights on pod every week. I'm 23 years old and always want to give an open mic a shot, but here on the coast where I live, we don't have much access to any kind of local comedy. Even when a headliner comes through, you have to travel a couple hours to see them. Damn, where you living at in South Carolina? I've started a family and own a home, so traveling all during the week is kind of impossible right now. I guess I'm just wondering if you have any advice for someone in my situation that would just like to see if anything worth working with. I often think of jokes during the week and write them down as just something fun to do, so I just think of my situation as building material for when I do get the chance to use it. Also, we love you here, so come as often as you want. Thanks and have a great day. I mean, I don't know what advice to give you because, I talk about this often, I feel like but you have to perform comedy to know if you're good at it and to get good at it. You have to perform in front of an audience. I mean, you can practice your writing, you can practice your cadence, you can practice all of that stuff, but the art of being on stage and managing the energy and keeping the pace and speaking with rhythm and hitting your punchlines and all your timing and reading the room simultaneously, that is something you can't practice without doing it. I say abandon your family. That's the only way that you're gonna. No, seriously. I guess what would be best is for you to just schedule some you time and run up to the city and like set aside time to try it. Give yourself a week or something or a few days or something to go up and really in earnest attempt it. And obviously the open mic locations and rules and ways of signing up and all that will be different wherever you're from or whatever you're near. But comedians do tend to the good comics anyway, tend to go out of their way to help out people that they know are from out of town or have traveled a long way. So, you'll get up on some mics just on the strength of, you traveled a long way to the city. Go find that city's Facebook group, or comedian Facebook group, or whatever. Some cities have a website for where all the mics, or some people even like there's a spreadsheet they passing around with the contact information of the bookers and the people that run the mics and all that other stuff. So, if you're really trying to dibble dabble, you're gonna have to, you have to make that effort or abandon your family. And listen, I won't judge you for doing that. It makes strong kids. I'm kidding. Maybe I'm not. Hey, Brian. First, love the Netflix special and saw you in Chicago at the Zanies for the Thursday show. Was the tall Korean dude. Hope to see you in Chicago for the next leg of the tour. My question is, if I step up as a church leader, what kind of person would you expect her to be? Wait a minute. My question is, if I step up as a church leader, what kind of person would you expect her to be? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are you a him or a her? You talking about you, right? Okay. I'm still questioning whether or not I should step up, but if I commit, I want to do it well. Also, I'm asking you because I love your insights and thoughtful answers to the Beaver Puss community, and I am surrounded by a lot of Christians. Sometimes I feel like I get the spiritual bullshit advice that doesn't help and it's not real. By the way, for context, I'm a devout Christian and have been part of the faith for over a decade. I'm not a Trump Christian, but a ride or die for Jesus. Um, well, that's the thing about leadership, right? Is nobody can tell you how you can be a leader. But because I think leadership is a talent that you have or you don't. You know, like being put in a position of authority doesn't make you a leader. Being somebody that people want to be like, that people want to follow, that's what makes you a leader. And exuding it in a charismatic manner, that's what makes you a leader. But you still have to be yourself. You know, it's like there's a reason why all the coaches from the Bill Belichick tree, like everybody that coached under Bill Belichick and then went on to be a head coach, they weren't successful. Not really. Except I guess you could say Bill O'Brien, but is he really a second disciple? More like a Bill Walsh, right? But anyway, my point is, it's because they were trying to be him and not themselves. They were trying to coach like he coached and lead like he lead. But that's not you. You got to be you. That's what leadership really is about. And if you think you're in an environment where people respect you and people will follow your lead, then sure, take the leadership position. But if because that's really the question that you have to answer. If you take this position, will you just be in charge or will you be a leader? Will people follow you or will you just have responsibilities? And that's that's the thing. Also, how is this church? Is it corrupt? Is it open and honest? Would you be able to be open and honest with people? What's your ability to quit? What happens if you quit? Do you leave the church high and dry? Do churches deserve to go out of business? I think they do. I think poorly managed churches deserve to go out of business. But there's, all my advice really boils down to this. There is no wrong answer when it comes to life decisions. It's all about who you're willing to be on the other side of your decision. Are you willing to live with who you'll become once you choose this choice? And or what are you willing to sacrifice in order to make this choice? That's really what it boils down to. Not that there are definitely bad outcomes, and I think there's definitely poor choices. But when it comes to what you want to do, there's no right or wrong answer to what you want to do with your life. Yeah, that's the advice, champ. Keep it tight, Beaver Puss. All right. It's a different thing. All right, here we go. Dear Brian, I'm 39, engaged. Oh, this email is titled Preparing for the Worst. Dear Brian, I am 39, engaged and living a good life in Oklahoma City. However, in 2020, 2021, and what could possibly happen in 2025, I feel that my fiance and I should be a little prepared for when shit hits the fan. Oh, however, between what went down in 2020, 2021, and what could possibly happen in 2020. Wait, what could possibly happen in 2025? Wait a minute, and what the hell? What is he talking about? I mean, that's a wild thing to allude to without going into further detail. Did I miss something? Is it a comment headed for this motherfucker? What is he talking about? I think are you one of these you just tricked me into spreading your conspiracy theory and didn't even tell me what the theory was. Son of a bitch. Maybe it's further in the email. I do tend to jump to conclusions sometimes. My fiance has strongly spoken against prepping to the point we almost getting into arguments and tries to make me feel like an ass for just being ahead of the game. Well, I'm not suggesting dumping thousands of dollars on the underground shelter and then fill it to the brim with guns. Just maybe a month or two worth of canned food, bottled water, and maybe a plan just in case shit hits the fan. My fiance and her family have a little too much faith in our judicial system and everything will be fine once Trump is behind bars mentality. From my point of view, it's one Jenga piece away from falling apart and it's going to be a shit show regardless of who's declared a winner in November. But also, we live in Oklahoma, aka Tornado Valley. Tornadoes are getting stronger and stronger. And if we lose power for more than a day, we're in trouble. I am not an off the grid, far one side of line whack job. I just want little pieces of mine for both of us, but don't want to piss her to the point she taps out of the relationship. I do dearly love this woman. Any advice would be appreciated. Keep it high and tight, beaver puss. Listen, I'm the wrong person to ask about stuff like this because I got zero tolerance for nonsense. What you're asking for, I think, is pretty reasonable. Like, hey, I mean, regardless of what might happen in 2025 that you still didn't talk about, like you said, you live in Tornado Valley. Climate change is in full effect. Tornadoes are getting stronger. All weather is getting stronger and more intense. What's wrong with being prepared? Now, like I said, I mean, there is a such thing as like overboard. And let me tell you something else. Getting into the prepper world is very easy to get sucked in and not realize that you're going from just being prepared to fucking nuts, right? So that's something you got to be careful for. But your wife getting upset that you want to prepare for disaster is that's wild. That's wild. I mean, I say you do it anything, let her be mad. Because at some point, those preparations are going to save your life, or you're going to be so glad you did them. There's no better relief than being prepared. You know what I mean? When something go down and you're like, I got just the tool for the job because I thought ahead. I'm telling you, I'm like that meme with Leonardo DiCaprio with the fucking. That's me when shit go down and I'm prepared. I anticipated this. No, I'm never cockier than that. That's not true. When I crush on stage for 30 minutes afterwards, that's the cockiest I am. The second cockiest I ever am is when I'm prepared for something when it goes down. So you still have to prepare on the low. I mean, if you're saying just get some canned goods to the side, I mean, what the fuck is the problem with that? But this is a communication issue with your woman, and I do not know how to solve that. And I don't know it. I probably know a handful of men that do, that have good communication with their woman, because a lot of times, you're married, you know how it is. So, you're saying something to her that makes perfect and complete and logical sense and is going in one ear and out the other. And I don't know how to comment on it further without disrespecting your woman. So I'll say, watch a YouTube video or read a book on communication or just ignore her and take the hit and prepare anyway. Have a secret stash that she don't know about. You know what I'm saying? Have a trunk in a garage or somewhere that she don't go and just keep, stashing canned goods and emergency supplies, and then when the day comes, she's like, oh no, babe, what are we gonna do? You be like, what you didn't have the fucking will to do, but I'm prepared. Oh man. And you, sir, are gonna be getting all types of head and shit in that bunker. Oh my God, I'm so glad I married such a smart man. Or whatever. That's the fantasy. And that's all we can really hope for sometimes, right? All right, let's do a couple of articles. Flavor Flav is the new official hype man for U.S. women's water polo team. Now that is a headline that I never in my life expected to read. Flavor Flav is the new hype man for U.S. women's water polo. I mean, how did that come about? Because I guess are we amazed by are we surprised by Flavor Flav at this point? I don't think so. The U.S. women's water polo team is preparing for the upcoming Olympic Games in Paris this summer, and they have an unlikely supporter cheering them on. Earlier this week, Maggie Steffens, the team's captain, made a plea on social media to her followers to build up support for the team. There is no greater honor than representing Team USA on the Olympic stage side by side. Blah, 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 blah. Obviously, Flavor Flav saw the post. The 65-year-old rapper stepped forward to help the U.S. team as it goes for an unprecedented fourth consecutive gold medal at the Paris Olympics this summer. As a girl, dad, and supporter of all women's sports, I'm personally sponsoring you, my girl. Whatever you need, he commented on Stephen's post, and I'm going to sponsor the whole team, he added. That's a Flavor Flav promise. I don't know how that's different from a regular promise, but I believe it. I think a Flavor Flav promise comes with a clock or something. I don't know. It's a promise he is planning to keep. Flav is finalizing a deal that will make him a USA water polo sponsor and the official hype man for the program, seeking a bigger spotlight. He has also jumped headfirst into his new duties. See, what is surprising to me about this is I thought that the U.S. government sponsored the U.S. Olympic teams. Why are our Olympic teams out here with GoFundMes, nigga? That don't make no sense. We the richest. God, this is irritating the fuck out of me. I don't know why I thought this. I thought that the United States of America, I thought we paid for everything for our Olympic teams. Am I tripping? Or do we only pay for like the bigger sport? Like, who's paying for everything? Do all the teams need to be sponsored? I mean, listen, they won 3 straight gold medals. We not even gonna get behind the winners. They winners. And they set up to win their 4th consecutive. Well, I'm gonna sponsor y'all in spirit. I don't have Flavor Flav money, but I get maybe this will spread the word. Maybe the Beaver Pussies will unite. I mean, I guess y'all don't need us now that y'all got Flav, and y'all have, he's giving y'all money. I mean, I hope it's just the Flavor Flav promise and not Flavor Flav dollars. Like he's just giving y'all dollars with his face on it or something, which wouldn't be completely crazy or unusual. But I'm wishing the U.S. women's water polo team the best. Because they are the best. And it irritates me that they have to ask for money. Swifties lose it after lucky fan puts iconic Eras Tour 2022 hat on eBay for $20,000. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, so apparently this little kid is in a picture. So I guess a little kid gets to hug Taylor Swift. Wait a minute. This looks like 2 different kids in 2 different situations. Because it looks like she's wearing 2 different shirts. But okay. But in one of these pictures, Taylor Swift is she's taking the hat off, which I'm guessing she wore during the concert. She's taking the hat off and putting it on a child. Okay. So Swifties aren't exactly known for their calm nature or forgiving disposition. And when it comes to the iconic Eras Tour, Taylor Swift fans do not appreciate when people casually part ways with mementos that are cherished by Swifties everywhere. So you can imagine why it didn't go down very well in the Swiftosphere when the recipient of Swift's coveted 22 hat tried to sell it on eBay for $20,000. Anyone who's been following the Eras Tour knows that for each show, one lucky individual is chosen to receive the iconic the iconic 22 black hat, originally featured in the music video for the Red track. Man, I don't know what any of this means. In August 2023, bestowed the hat on Bianca Bryant, late basketball player Kobe Bryant's youngest daughter, a moment that immediately went viral on TikTok. And now, one other lucky 2022, why I keep saying 2022? One other lucky 22 hat recipient has decided to put her own memento on eBay, a decision that has Swifties going feral. Back in May 2023, TikToker Gianna Lindsay's little sister was chosen to be given the hat during Swift's show in New Jersey. Lindsay's video of the moment now has 2.6 million views and 474,500 likes. One user commented, she can wear it on her 22nd birthday. While another netizen noted, oh my gosh, what a lucky girl. She'll remember that for the rest of her life. Fast forward to May 2024, and a Swiftie shared a screenshot on X, formerly Twitter, of an eBay listing selling that very hat for $20,000. The user wrote in her post, oh my God, someone is selling the 22 hat. I hate people. Okay, listen, okay, I see where this is going. Listen, guys, this doesn't matter. Listen, you have to understand, this is like a result of this collective narcissism that we all have because of social media. And it's like because culture is now so fragmented, you can go be in your own little pocket of the internet. It's easy to fool yourself into thinking that everyone or most people think like you do. That shit don't matter to everybody like it do to you. It's just that simple. So some people, it's a hat and they need $20,000. So they selling that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? If it means so much to you, then buy that bitch. You know what I'm saying? If it means that much to you, buy that shit. You know what I mean? This is what happens in those situations. You know, I felt the same way when Martin Shkreli, human herpes sore and pharmaceutical tyrant, when he, this is the guy that, bought a bunch of medications and then raised the prices to astronomical levels. But he also slipped in and bought an exclusive Wu-Tang album that was only one copy of, and they were auctioning it off, and he fucking won the auction. And it's like, that's just what it is. And it doesn't mean shit to him, But I didn't bid on that motherfucker, so I don't care. I'm over it. You know what I mean? It's like, if you want to have that bad, sell it. But other people are allowed to sell their shit. You know what I'm saying? There's no memorabilia I have that I would starve before I sold it. And I'm not saying this lady needs $20,000. I mean, I don't know her situation or this little girl's situation. It may be a parent making her sell it. It may be that it don't mean shit. It may be that it never meant shit to her. But for you to be this focused on somebody else's life and what they doing with their shit, who cares? I don't care. I mean, I cared enough to do a whole segment on it on my podcast, but that's just because it was the thing that popped up, Postal worker caught racing Mustang in USPS van, hitting 105 miles an hour in a 60 mile per hour zone. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Sandusky County deputy tells driver. Newly released video of a traffic stop along Route 20 west of Fremont shows body cam footage from a Sandusky County deputy. He had just pulled over a USPS mail van for speeding, going more than 100 miles per hour in a 60 mile per hour zone. Is there a reason you're going over 100? Video shows the deputy asked the driver, to which the driver replies, I didn't realize I was going that fast. According to the traffic report from Sandusky County, the van had no plates and the driver appeared to be racing a Ford Mustang. In the body cam video, the deputy goes on to say, yeah, I mean, that Mustang took off. He caught my attention, and then you blew by him, and I was pacing you at like 105. The postal worker identified herself as from the Fremont Post Office. The stop happened Sunday, April 21st, 2024. At about 1:51 p.m., court records identify the driver as Drew Brown, 28, of Fremont. She waived the case. Well, wait a minute. Why did that just happen? Hold on. Oh, come on. She waived the case, which is now closed, and paid $50 as the first installment of a $240 fine for traffic violation after receiving a verbal warning for racing. Drew Brown is an employee. It is under investigation. As a matter of policy, we are unable to comment further on a specific individual personal matter. Editor's note, a previous version of the story said the driver paid $50 fine for the traffic violation. The court clerk later clarified that the $50 listing on the court records refers to the first payment of the $240. Yeah, okay. Well, listen. Listen. Racing is stupid. Racing in your work vehicle is even dumber. Racing in your work vehicle when that is a government vehicle, that's a whole other level of stupid. However, we all been bit by the bug. We all been bit by the bug. Something about the frequency of engine noise and mixed with the allure, the threatening inherent challenge from eye contact, it switches off some part of your brain where you just like, oh yeah? You know, we've all been there. Somebody make eye contact with you. You're like, oh, where? Down, the fact that she was dusting a Mustang is, so I didn't even know that Bell trucks got down like that. I never seen one going that fast. And they don't even look like they can go, you know, and maybe that just fools us because every time I see one, they're going slow, but they stopping at every house. So, and I don't think they're talking about because it's not in the video. I don't think they're talking about the mail trucks that like actually deliver to your house. They're talking about the mail vans that I think take stuff from one post office to another. I don't know what the fuck they do in the vans, but still, I mean, you racing in the mail truck, you know, that's OD dumb. But I understand, and we salute you. We do. Yeah, I'm not, you know, you're being held accountable. I mean, I don't think you should lose your job, but you should definitely be made fun of at work from this point. Like, you know that. You know you earned that. Man, that doesn't even look like it makes sense. Nigeria mass wedding for 100 orphans sparks outcry. What? The planned mass wedding of about 100 orphans has sparked widespread outrage across Nigeria. The orphans, some of whom are feared to be underage girls, are set to be married off on 24 May in the northwestern state of Niger. They have all lost parents to attacks by armed bandits who regularly target civilians across the state. Nigeria's Women's Affairs Minister Uju Kennedy Ohani said she has filed a court order to stop the ceremony. According to reports, the mass wedding was supported by the Speaker of Niger State Assembly, who said local religious leaders had approached him for help funding it. I mean, guys, human rights activists in Nigeria have launched a petition to stop the plan. Yeah, man. Yeah, wow. I don't even know what to say here. I mean, obviously there's not 100 women out there that want to marry one man. You know what I'm saying? There's no way you can actually be a good husband to 100 women. You know what I mean? So what is the benefit of this? What is the point of you I don't understand this. This is wild shit. This is wild shit. I don't understand why women stay living there. You know, if shit like this could slide. All right, one last one before we get the fuck out of here. Teen gets ticket for using McDonald's app in the drive-thru. Well, you deserve that ticket, sir. What an asshole thing to do. Okay, let's look at it. Let's read this article. Teen gets ticket for using you can't drive distracted in a McDonald's drive-thru lane. What? A Saskatoon, Canada driver was using his McDonald's app while in the drive-thru so he could get the free lunch he earned through rewards. A motorcycle cop was behind the teen, and as the man inched up, the officer walked up to his car window and fined him for using his phone while driving. The teen was in a catch-22. He needed to pull up the app, but he was driving. The ticket cost the guy $508, but lawyers say since it was a private drive-thru, the ticket shouldn't have been given. Yeah, that's just a motherfucker abusing their power. Listen, again, that's one of those other things. When you're behind people in the drive-thru, you know, it's the frustration of being behind somebody in your car and being behind somebody in line at a fast food place. And so whatever's taking long, your frustration it's bouncing between the person in front of you and the business and I've been in a McDonald's line for so long. Like one time I was in a McDonald's line for like 40 minutes. That's how slow shit. And it was set up in such a way where, you know, you could get out, but it was another motherfucker blocking that. You know, and I was losing my shit. I had 20 minutes before that, I had decided, fuck this place, but I was stuck in this fucking drive-thru. And I'm lucky I got out of there when I did, because I don't think I had very much patience left. So I understand the frustration, but when you got power like that, to fuck with somebody's life. You know, it's you can't just abuse your power because a motherfucker frustrates you. Okay, so all right, that felt like too short. One last little joint. Okay. Why is no one? Oh, wait a minute. God damn it, y'all! I lost it. I lost my list. This Florida skinny house is only 10 feet wide, but it's selling for $619,000. Now, if you pay that kind of money for a 10-foot wide house, you a goddamn fool. Okay, let's see what this is saying. Unique home located in Jacksonville Beach. So right away, Jacksonville should be an automatic no. 600 grand for a house in Jacksonville, a tiny house. A recently finished home in Jacksonville Beach, dubbed the Skinny House, caused a furor online after it was revealed to be a mere 10 feet wide, but the listing was 600 grand. The home, located at 1952 Horn Street in Jacksonville Beach, features 2 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and over 1,500 square feet of living space. Oh, okay. Well, that's different. You got a pool. It went viral for hitting the market earlier this year, though listing broker Ryan Weatherfield told News 6 it was an uphill battle. Lots in the area have historically all been 25 feet wide, Weatherhold explained, but many nearby owners combined their lots together to build houses, which left some uneven spaces. The lot this home was built on was one such leftover plot of land. We have lots that were planted maybe a century ago, but when we have a building code that's more modern, that's been refined over time, he said, and it doesn't necessarily fit some of these laws that were planted by municipalities decades and decades ago. Weatherhold said they initially wanted to make the house 15 feet wide, a standard for many townhomes, but building codes required the home to have 7.5 feet of space on either side. While they tried to get the rule changed through the Board of Adjustment, surrounding residents of the high-end neighborhood who wanted the plot to remain open pushed back. One such resident had started a garden on the plot and persuaded others to attend public meetings to voice their disapproval. You get that mob mentality where it carries the board members, then can't make it their own decision. Weatherhold said, if there's 100 people that say no, and there's no one that says, yeah, let's do it, those voices carry. As a result, Weatherhold and builder John Atkins were stuck with the 10-foot wide option. Okay. Well, look, this house look good in the motherfucker, though. I ain't gonna hold you. My initial judgment was, okay, all right. I would live in this house, but not in Jacksonville. But it's a nice house. Yeah, but I can understand. I don't know if it's an uproar. They call anything a motherfucking uproar nowadays. What, because 50 people are upset about it? Again, stop giving a fuck about how other people live in their life. They don't care about. That reminds me of some shit I saw today where Simone Biles, Olympic gymnast. Some of y'all may not realize this. Sometime last year, her and her husband were being interviewed about how they met and all this other stuff. And her husband said, when I first met her, I didn't know who she was. And like, I'm the prize. I was looking at her like I'm the prize. And so many fucking lonely hags had a problem with that. Like, a man ain't allowed to be confident in himself. That's a wild thing. You have no problem with an ugly bitch that's 300 pounds saying she a 10. But a man thinking he the prize is criminal. So since then, even though Simone didn't have a problem with it, the husband doesn't have a problem with it, the interview didn't have a problem with it, all these people have all this shit to tell them about, like, how she should have reacted and all this other stuff. And I'm gonna tell you something. People that's always in other people's relationship, they never got nobody. They always single or perpetually single, or serial monogamists. They're just constantly in and out of relationships, or they haven't had a relationship in a long time. And they always want to tell other people how to live. They want everybody to be miserable because they're miserable. You know what I mean? It's like none of them stop to think like, oh, this is a happy and successful couple. Maybe my ideas about how couples should be are wrong. Maybe I should ask them how they are. Maybe I should be like them. You know what I mean? It's like, get out of people's business. Like, these people are happy and you're trying to make them feel bad for being happy. Like, oh, this is a mistake. You don't know those people. I just, like I said, it's people that get online and they play in the dirt. You know what I mean? They play in the dirt. They want to motherfucking, you know, they want to, uh, they just want drama. They want to pump drama into whatever situation they think they can throw fuel on the fire so they got something to fucking talk about because they don't got shit going on. They don't got a love in their life. They don't got stability. They don't have support, and all they want to see is other people. They want to see other people single too. They want to see other people miserable because they miserable, you know? It was one of those few things where it's like I rarely get into fights online anymore because I think it's a waste of time. But I did comment. Nobody fought me though, but I did comment. But I don't have the energy or the time to go back and forth with somebody for several days. I miss the younger years when I was like, I got time and energy, but I usually don't have both of those at the same time. So, mind your business. Keep the internet out of your relationship. Remember, people online don't know you or love you. They're following you because of what they get from you online, and that's it. And if what they get from you is drama or the feeling of superiority, that's why they follow you. They don't love you. You don't need their approval. You don't need them to be happy about what the fuck you doing in your life. Fuck them. Live your life. Be happy. Be at peace. And that is going to do it this week, Beaver Pussies. Don't forget, if you want to support the podcast, like, share, subscribe, comment, fight in the comments. Manipulate the algorithm. Or no, don't do it. You don't got to do that. If you want to see me on tour, go ahead, follow BS with Brian Simpson. I'm sorry. If you want to see me on tour, go to BrianSimpsonComedy.com or go to any of my socials at BS Comedian. And if you need advice from the Advice Champ, we will read your email live. Go ahead and email me at bswithbriansimpson@gmail.com. And we'll see y'all next week. Keep it tight, Beaver Puss.